God, why am I so low in the scene here? Hello. Hey, YouTube. Okay, Facebook, Bridget. Oh my God. Happy Friday, Bridget. Hey, Kelly. Hey, Andrea. All right, so what's going on? What a interesting week. In the shop, as I like to do shop talk here a little bit. Oh, people are still signing in. Hold on, Jenna. Aw, thank you, honey. Thank you. Hey, Michael. Shop was interesting. So this week, one theme, I always like to talk about the themes, toxic mothers. Toxic mothers were and abusive mothers. And that was a big thing. And what else? Really awful thing. I wasn't really, enjoying that, mind you. Hi, Amanda. What else was a theme? I first of all, thank you all. A lot of people really enjoyed the newsletter, and I appreciate that. I love hearing the feedback. And the idea of magic and witchcraft, I always, I've got some ideas for shows. I keep talking about them, and I keep stopping because I can't with the COVID variants. I really can't have people crammed into my back room, so I haven't taught classes. There's room for a comfortable, 8, 9 people, and I prefer small classes, but not 6 feet apart. So the reason I can still do readings is I've turned all the tables lengthwise, and they are in fact 6 feet apart. But I really, I can't be part of Elizabeth cannot be part of a super spreader event. I can't be responsible for something like that. It's just that's not gonna fly with me. So on the topic of magic, let's talk about magic a little bit, because it was folk magic was more of the topic of the newsletter, and a lot of interesting ways to integrate magic into our everyday lives. And we certainly can do that. We can live a magical life in a muggle world. Absolutely. But there is some confusion about magic, and I got some phone calls, and we're back up on that season where there's a lot of the psychic scammers, the spiritual extortionists, I call them, and I'm getting those calls again. And I have zero patience and cut people off pretty quickly. Not to be rude, I usually have a line of people in front of me, and it always starts the same, like, it's a revelation to me, that this is occurring, and it's not a revelation. Well, do you have a minute? I want to talk about something. What's this reader? And she, well, she told me that I have a, and I'm like, you don't. But she said there was a, but there's not. Oh, wait, but I said, but you don't. But you haven't even seen me. I said, you're right, I haven't. So why are you asking me these questions? I said, why don't you go back to the person who read you, who told you had the curse, that you had the family curse, the hex, all the awful things. Go back to them and ask them how that came about happening. Ask them what the best way of removing that would be. How are you going to live your life with that? And I get, the silence. And I'm like, let me guess, because I'm psychic. You've already did that. You didn't even have to, because she volunteered the information, or he volunteered. So they want what, $800? $1,200? Well, how much to lift the curse, to do the baths, do the candles? Like, how did you know? I said, because it's always that much money. And so it's back on that season. Listen, can there be a family curse? Yeah, actually, there really can be. There can be a familial curse handed down through generations. Absolutely. Man, you've got to be a strong magician to pull that off. The everyday average negative energy that brings us down, that helps us to get sick, that schmeg, we call it, that we carry after work, especially people who work in the health field. Hairdressers touching the crown of the head, massage therapists, people in psych or mental health services. I'm gonna say even I would say grocery store people who clerks that and people in service and restaurants, because they're around these people all day long. Around people, I should say, not these people, but people, and you attach those negative energies. Doesn't mean it's a curse. But and usually a salt bath, usually clearing your house. I have my sage and salt bath and warding papers I send out. If you're interested, if you want them, email me, just or message me rather in the messages. On YouTube, you can email me at lenhard@comcast.net. I'll also remember to put that in the comments, but I'll send you my papers, and I hope you're getting my newsletter. If you're not, again, message me and ask for the newsletter. But what can magic do? What can magic not do? And there was a lot of questions about that this week. Oh my goodness. Yep. Hey, Sean. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Patricia. Hey, Stacy. So what can magic do? So I had people calling in from everything from forgiveness spells, and meaning you're going to forgive and forget kind of thing. Someone's going to forgive and forget forget what you've done, to bringing people back into your life, dealing with abuse. Unfortunately, spousal abuse. That was a topic this week. So what can magic do in these areas? Well, let's just talk about what magic is. And first of all, the way I equate it, the best analogy I can give you is you're making a stew, right? You're making a stew. What do? You brown the meat and the onions if you eat meat. You chop the vegetables. You add the vegetables in. You add the water. You set it on to boil. You put it on a simmer. If you were to taste that, right? How would that taste at that point? Not that great. It'd be very flat, very bland, very watery. It doesn't come alive till you add the seasonings. So magic, after all that work, is the seasoning. So are there spills to help you get a job? Of course there are, and they do work. As long as you have gotten your resume out there prepared, as long as you've been putting out job applications, you can't just sit on your ass and expect the job is going to come knocking on your door. It's the extra oomph. It's that extra bit of energy, and it's geared toward, let's say, abundance, or it's geared towards getting that new house, making those car payments, whatever it is you've got to do. The raises, the attracting new love is the same way. Where it gets dicey, and when somebody asked, they were talking about a spell that together with them. Hey, Barbara. I have a newsletter. Yes, please, Jenna, message me and give me your email address. I'll send you the newsletter. Hey, Dee. So after all of the work, got a message saying, am I interfering with his free will, asking him to come or drawing him back? And the answer is no, not the way I do it, because basically it's designed to make them think fondly of you. This was one of those breakups. It was a mistake, and really was hoping it would be repaired. And just the energy of those good times we had. Remember how much fun it was. Remember how wonderful it was, the intimacy, and just those memories to kind of send off into that person's energy, into their mind. And then what they do with that energy is up to them. They might really be like, nah, you know what? The same thing with relationship readings, which everyone knows I hate, because there's a third person. And the fact is, in a relationship reading, a person could, at that moment, be very much in love. I get that all the time. Like, oh my God, Laura, throw some cards. I've been dating this guy for a few weeks. Oh my God, I don't know, but it seems to be cooling off, and I thought it was going really good. And I'll throw cards, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that this is, yes, do the Calden one, Jenna. Yes, I'll be fine. It has to be this person. I do see a relationship. I do say, but I'm not sure. There seems like there's some problems here, and I'm not sure. No. It needs to be this person. I love this person. I think I'm falling in love with them. And I'm like, wow, okay, well, I'm not sure. I don't know that I see it moving forward as the way you'd like it to. Seems like you guys want different things. We talk about that. So the reading goes on. But basically, because it's not that person that way, and it's interesting, you know what, Laura, it didn't work out. I'm like, I'm sorry. But then it's like, well, that's okay, because I met this new person. And it's like, okay, so you weren't that in love, because, there's no broken hearts here. It's interesting how that can go from a level 10 emergency to a level 2, whatever. It wasn't that big a deal. Okay, it was 2 weeks ago, but okay. And I'm glad people recover quickly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking that. Broken hearts are horrible things. Hey, Karen. So there's that. What else can we talk about? In regards to abusive situations, first of all, just know that I responsibly always refer to outreach programs, umbrella agency here in Connecticut. I did work for mental health departments, so I do make sure that someone is safe and the children are safe. And I'm not a worker, I'm not a social worker, I'm not DCF, I'm not a cop. But are these things in place? You know, are you afraid for your life? If you are, let's talk about how we can get you out of there fast. But if it's a situation where someone is abusive, but not to the point that someone's in danger, but miserable, and you can calm down a situation. And I want to really say, calming something down, like with peaceful home oil, is not the same as resolving the issue. It's two very different things. So if you've got an addict or an alcoholic, keeping things calm, helping to keep the energy of the house calm. Anyone who knows any little thing gets them to blow up, go off, and then do what they do. Keeping the house calm, and then so that energy of helping keep the house calm, that's great. But it's not really resolving the issue. You're not really resolving anything. But if you need 6 weeks to make a plan, if you need 3 months to finish up a certificate program or get a job lined up or get housing lined up, yeah, those things help. Then yeah, you do want something that's going to be just, get them calm, keep the house calm while you're making plans to escape. I get it, and that's the truth. Yeah, those things do work. They work, but they're not going to resolve the problem. You have to resolve the problem. Okay. Hey, Don. Even right down to people, I get this. It's like, is there a star I can carry for protection? And it's like if someone's really abusive, I'm like, yeah, brick, and hit them with it. I mean, there's and don't, because DCF steps in if you got kids, and you can lose custody of your kids over protecting yourself. Self-defense, if they can prove that whoever calls the cops first is usually the one who's going to get sided with. So it's pretty interesting how it all works and how people are just enraged at the custody, and it's terrible, the custody issues and the way the court system has. We talk about Texas and Texas laws. We haven't talked about Connecticut and other places where, without really thinking of the welfare of the child, it's been more about custody issues to resolve child support. Now, Connecticut, believe it or not, is one of the biggest states for deadbeat dads. The courts are backlogged with that. And the way that the powers that be here in Connecticut decided to deal with it is to just do 50-50 custody. Unless there's some reason that the father cannot, and usually the father's lawyer will say, oh, no, but you can. We'll figure it out, Get the kids and figure it out because, child support. And is that best kids' interest to go back and forth between households splitting? I don't think so. No, most of the time, no, it's really not. A healthier way to do it, and it can be done. I've heard of it done. It's rare, is to keep the kids in the family home, and get a studio apartment somewhere. And the parents rotate in and out. And what goes on in the apartment stays in the apartment, But you do a week on, week off, and then the kids can keep their routine. And actually, a studio apartment, that's, depending on where you go, could be a car payment. It doesn't have to be terribly expensive. I mean, that's something you do if you really want to put your family first and your kids first. Most people won't agree with that. They want the damage. For some reason, the divorce does, and it just turns so ugly. The average divorce in Connecticut costs $13,000. That's the average divorce. And just because I want to do my little public service announcement, you don't need a lawyer to get a divorce. I have helped 5 women who are in horribly abusive situations and no money get a divorce. How? Well, they didn't own homes, first of all. And you can, in fact, go to the Superior Court here in Connecticut, and I'm going to guess nationwide, and get the do-it-yourself divorce kit. You should do that anyway, even if you're getting a lawyer, because it goes through the cost of everything you've got to file, all the paperwork, but you can get divorced for $350 in Connecticut. That's the cost. And they will help you in the courthouse. They really are kind. I've been there, and people I've sent there have also said that to me. They'll help you figure out what sheriff to serve the papers and how to handle things. So I have to say, the same way if you're starting a business, Department of Resource Services, DRS, is very helpful in Connecticut. And I'm going to say again, nationwide, they want you to start your business because that's when the tax money rolls in. They will help you and they will give you good advice. But, and again, the courts are geared to trying to keep things safe. And I have only heard good things at any of the courts in the area, the various district courts. But you got to go to Superior Court for the area. And again, they were amazed. These women were just amazed. They thought they were stuck in these marriages, couldn't afford a lawyer. The average lawyer now is $3,500, and they won't see you without the retainer. You can't even get the initial visit for free like you used to. But they at least look at the situation and give you some idea of what you can expect. Yeah, Elizabeth, 350. There's Elizabeth. Thank you for weighing in on that. I'm so sorry. So sorry. But when we talk about, how things are in Texas and this idea, we're being held hostage by a fraudulent DCF system, where we're being held, police departments that don't file reports. I mean, there's a lot of things going on very bad, very wrong in the process. And courts are swinging to the right, and they're swinging in favor of the men. Not that there aren't men out there who shouldn't be raising their children. Not that there aren't men who do a perfectly good job with that, who are mother and father. I read for them. The nice thing about my shop is the men that come to Talisman are those kind of men. The people that come to my shop are those kind of people. They're already on board. I don't advertise. And I talked about this last week, so I'm not going to beat a dead horse. The people that come into my shop are there because they want to be there. They want to better themselves. They want to better their situation. They're respectful. And I don't deal with what you guys deal with. You guys deal with the whole, what are you doing? What's that thing around your neck? What are you wearing those stones for? What are you playing around with that for? It's dangerous. You're a weirdo. I don't get that. I exist in the Laurelland bubble, and it's a good bubble. I am, and I like to think of my shop as a sanctuary. I like to think of it as a portal, and it's a place. It is a safe place. It's a safe place to be, and I'm proud of that. And I've worked hard to maintain that, whether it's just to get a 15-minute break, or if I really can get people out of a situation, I direct them. I direct them to therapy. I know therapists that take Husky. I know good therapists. I worked for the Department of Health for 7 years. I worked for a human services agency, and I've dealt with the system on a personal level. That will be in the book one day, because that's a story too. So you have my heart, and you have my compassion, and I also need to deal with the other things that I don't deal with. In my newsletter, I talk about having, hiding in plain sight, how you can be a magical person in a muggle world and not let the whole world know about it. You don't have to. And witches don't do that anyway. We don't have to proselytize. We don't knock on doors. We don't try to bring people in. If the goddess doesn't want you, we don't need you in. It's okay. Do you, baby. You do you. We're doing us. We're not that kind of religion. We're not that kind of group. Don't worry about if your friends or your family or your kids, how they feel. The same kids that didn't like you at 16 doing what you do are joining the Mothers in the Circle at 35 and grateful for it. And I'm telling you, I see it. So if your kids don't like it, then don't do it in front of your kids. Tell them to look elsewhere. A consultation, that's amazing. 500. Aaron, I love you. I love you. Dawn, I've been worried about you, Dawn. I meant to reach out to you today. I will be talking. Thank you. And safe for trans kids, safe for all sorts of people. It is a safe place. And I am vigilant about that. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is safe. I said last week, people who come in out of curiosity but really don't. They walk in like 10 steps, and it's like they hit a force field. Because at the front of the shop are the stones, and then the witchcraft and the stuff is in the back. But they get about halfway through. Of course, I like to think my Kali shrine that stops them. I know that's part of it. And they just turn around and walk out. Speaking of Kali, and I really will start reading cards. I had a funny reading today, and the young woman, I've grown very fond of her, and I've watched her grow as a human being and a stronger person from a very abusive childhood and a very abusive, young adulthood. And again, toxic mothers. It's not just men that abuse children. It's not just men that sexually abuse children either. So women do terrible things with their kids too, and I don't even want to get into that. It's just one of those things that hurts my heart. But she was telling me about this thing that happened, that a strange man knocked on her door in the condo complex that she rents an apartment in, and it was very late. And I should say she's quite beautiful and attracts attention, but she's also very shy and has been celibate for 2 years because she's just been dealing with a lot of PTSD. And this person just thought it'd be okay to just knock on her door, and she said, Laura, I called out to Kali to help me, and she didn't. I'm like, she didn't? She goes, yeah, she didn't. I was like, can you please make him go away? Can you just take care of this for me? And she didn't. I said, well, honey, what happened? And she said, well, he knocked, and I was sitting there, I was really scared, and I was thinking, what am I going to do? And I just got really mad. Like, how dare he knock on my door at 10 o'clock at night? And she goes, when I said to him, who's out there right now? And is that John? Is that you? He's like, oh, I got a friend here, want to meet you. I want you to meet my best friend. And I don't know what he was talking about. I looked through the peephole and I could just see him. And I said, it's 10 o'clock at night. How dare you come to my door? And he said, oh shit. And he ran. He literally ran. And I just listened, right? And then the next day, she said, I was still so mad. And I said, I hope I run into him. I want to run into him. I want to see him out here in public in the broad daylight. And she goes, and sure enough, I was walking out to the pool, and here he comes. And I said, hey, I'm using names, of course. John, hi. Was that you at my door last night? He goes, oh, no. He goes, liar. It was you. Why were you at my door? You're a married man. It's 10 o'clock at night. How dare you? How rude that was. How bad that was. The hell are you coming near me for? The hell is wrong with you? She goes, words were coming out of my mouth that never come out. I just, and I looked at her. I'm just smiling. And she said, I don't know what came over me. But she goes, I just had enough. And he just literally, when I tell you he turned, he ran away from me, Laura. I said, see, that's how Kali works. And she goes, what? I said, that's how Kali works. She doesn't fight your battles for you. Our God, she goes, you asked her to help you, and she did. She helped you help yourself. And I said, that energy, that rage you felt, that anger, and that desire to go back and make sure he knew the next day, that wasn't your energy. She goes, no, I don't ever do things like that. I said, right. She called on Kali for help. And that's how she helps. She'll open the door, and if you don't go through it, she will kick your ass through it. That's how it works. But she's never going to do your work for you. And I know a lot of you are Christians, and I know that, first of all, again, love Jesus. You'll never hear me say a bad word about Jesus. Grew up praying to Mary. Mary just took on the form of the goddess for me. She is the goddess. But the difference in how we pray and why I've been focusing, and last week I was like, where do you send your prayers to? How do you pray? How do you pray? Many Christians, Jews, Muslims, it's like, I'm not worthy. Help me. I'm so weak. I beg of you. I beseech you. I plead with you. Why have you forsaken me? We don't pray to our gods like that. So this is a situation, and this is, I'm scared, or I'm afraid, or I'm angry. I'm hurting. I need help. And we also, talking about how we worship, is we do give offerings, and I'm not sure why anyone doesn't understand that. If you're asking to take something, you've got to put something back. Nature abhors a vacuum, and we abide by the laws of nature. We have to. So everyone will say things like, I'm just looking, hey April, hey Gail, hey Vanessa. Right. I it's not just anything goes. It's not just anything goes in magic. We have to observe the laws of nature. There's a laws of the natural world, and one of them is nature abhors a vacuum. So if you're asking, like, Mom, or I keep asking, I said, what are you offering to do in return? Like, what do you mean? I just want the job. I'm like, uh-huh. And what are you offering to give in return? Like, I didn't even, I said, well, there you go. I said, how about next time you pray, you say, when I get this job, not if, when, I will bring pizza to the local homeless shelter every Friday for a month. How about that one? Go to Big Y, get the party pizza, bring it to the shelter, or whatever you think. I'm not telling. I'm just giving you an idea. You pray to Hecate. Are you giving money to the dog shelter? Dogs are her animal. Her offerings are left at the crossroads. The dogs eat them. Back in the day, pagans got laughed at. Oh, look, the dogs eat the offerings. Yes, as they are meant to. The food is left there for them to consume. That's her way of accepting them. It's okay that they don't know that. It's not okay to be laughed at, right? But hey, Michael, this idea, and the gods have always had offerings, and that's been the relationship between the gods and humans. There's a really great, and I was talking about the newsletter a few months back, American Gods, the Netflix show. I'm talking so fast, I'm actually I'm swallowing air. But the American Gods, I don't even watch TV. I watched them. I don't even own a TV, but I haven't owned a TV in 5 years. But I watched on the laptop American Gods, and there's an amazing scene because the old gods versus the new gods. And there's a scene where Odin is addressing the new gods of there's our technology, World Wide Web, Mr. World, media. They're the new gods. But he's like, we had a relationship with the people. They brought us their problems and they brought us offerings. They made sacrifices and we took care of them. You don't take care of anybody. You break families apart. You come between people. You give nothing back. And yeah, there's also a great scene. And really, I recommend you watch this show. The first episode is a little slow for my taste. Stick with it. It gets good. It's a really interesting show. And I actually had to get the book and read the book because they ended it prematurely. There was some producing issues, but 2 great seasons on this show. There's a scene where a woman is making an offering to Demeter, and the corn dollies, which I have in my shop, and she leaves a corn dolly on an altar she makes out in the field of mud. Does a cairn, leaves the offerings. In Demeter's case, pig entrails are one of her offerings. Hey, gods want what the gods want. But and how she comes and what she does, and it's just an amazing. There's a few amazing scenes. Ostara, Easter, making herself known, and yeah, I am a polytheist, and I love the energy of deity. I really do. And since I was a little girl, theology and why do you believe what you believe, and how do you worship, how do you practice your faith. I never got tired of hearing about that. And I never got tired of visiting people's churches or synagogues or, I had can't think of, not Amish, God knows, not Amish. What's that religion that they are the peaceful people? That's a silent, actually, service. No one speaks unless they're motivated by spirit. I can't think of it. Oh, my goodness. But I had a friend, Quaker, the Quaker religion. I had a friend who was a Quaker. So I don't know. I think it's amazing. No, it was called American Gods. American Gods. Yep, Quakers. So anyway, that's my story. So again, calming a situation down is not the same as resolving a situation, but it can buy you some time. Encourage people who are in bad situations to get out, and ways to get out. And one way is women don't know, and they should know that you don't need to get a lawyer. Please remember to tell people that, because it's really news and no one talks about it, and certainly the lawyers and the courts are not talking about it. Also, mediators, I think, are a scam. And from what I've seen of them, they're a scam. They just are more time, more money, and at the end of the day, they're like, well, a lawyer has to handle this. Okay, well, you're a big help. And by the way, the family court stuff, the children, the custody, that's handled by family court. The lawyers have nothing to do with that. They don't, the lawyers have very little to, they might bring things in, but family court makes that decision. And right now, where they go, unless there's something abusive or one of the parents says, I work too many hours, I can't do this, at the age of 15, in Connecticut, it's 15, the kid can decide for themselves where they're going to stay. But family court decides where that kid's going to go. It really does. Okay. All right. Yeah, just stick with it. With that first episode is a little slow, but it gets really good really fast. So that's what I want to talk about. For people who grew up with toxic mothers, abusive mothers, that I think you can undo the damage a father does. I think a strong mother, having that strong matriarch in the family, I think can balance out an abusive father. I don't know many people who don't suffer horrific internal damage, emotional damage from abusive mothers. Be it as it may, you know, we are the magical ones, and there's plenty of magical men out there. Don't get me wrong. And I said, I read for men who go to work all day, come home, straight home, start dinner, get the homework going, got the kids together, do the best, do the bed, and I'll read them. And I'm like, your mother and father. Yeah, my wife's an addict. My wife's got a problem. My wife, I can't, and I'll see. And it's like, you're just waiting for that youngest kid. Oh, I'm waiting for that youngest kid to hit 15, and I am out of there. And I'm done. And they got it marked down for the time. So don't ever think for a second that I'm dismissing men. Our magic is different. I read them differently. They speak differently than we do. I think women make a terrible mistake when they try to make their man their everything. You know, my best friend, and women will do this. They'll forget about their female friends. Well, you need them. You need your women tribe. And women, for some reason, men don't do it. You know, they keep their bros, but we do this. We kind of make our whole world revolve around a single person, and then wonder why we're lonely or unhappy. Statistically, the fact is that when you talk to people about marriage, men and women, the biggest complaint men have in marriage across the board is boredom. And for women, it's loneliness. And when you think about how sad that how tragic that is, really and truly, boredom and loneliness. Seems like that could be fixed somehow, right? But anyway. And I don't mean bored with the same female. I mean just bored with the routine, bored with, you know. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Vanessa. Yep. Take care, Bridget. Thank you. Yeah, well, listen, I moved across country from California to Connecticut at the age of 14. I get it. I always say that. I'm not living like I'm so much better than you because I'm reading cards. No. I'm right there in the trenches. Believe me. I talk about things because I understand them because I've lived through them. So, and things that I'll be honest with you. I'll be really honest with you. The one thing that I struggle with, the one thing that I don't understand addiction. I don't understand addiction. I don't get addiction. And I am the wrong person. I'm not the person to sit. Many of my readers have battled that demon. Many readers battled it because from a very young age they were shut down. They were told it was evil, it was wrong, it was bad from a very young age when they saw things, heard things, and they turned at a young age to substances to quiet this down, to make it go away, to numb themselves. So actually, there's lots of readers out there who are very well versed. I don't get addiction. The only control I care about is self-control, and I don't understand the nature of destroying yourself. I don't need to explain it to me because I get it on a cerebral level, but emotionally it just doesn't work for me. I don't understand it. I can't truly empathize with it, and I will send somebody to somebody else. You know, usually they don't send the gods don't send those people to me very often. I don't usually have to deal with it. Unless they're on the, thanks, Wendy, which is why, well, people who are on the road to recovery, I get that. And those, honestly, those are usually people who come in the shop. I usually don't get active addicts. They just, again, they don't want that. Active addicts don't like the high energy. They don't, we vibrate higher, and that's an issue. So they just aren't attracted to it. They're very uncomfortable. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read a good decade. It does take decades. It takes decades. But I always say with parenting, you can be a great example or a horrible warning. And some of the best parents I know came out of very toxic situations, and they just made it their business. Many waited to have children, but to educate themselves so they wouldn't do those things to their kids, so they wouldn't affect kids that way. So that's the other thing. It doesn't have to be a death sentence that you can never enjoy life again, but you've got to take the time and spend the time to make sure that you're not going to cause harm to somebody else. We don't do that. I always say witches heal, and that doesn't mean we don't take care of business when we have to. I'm not that big forgive and forget person. People know that too about me. But anyway. I am shuffling cards. I think we should throw cards because I could just keep rambling here forever as I'm reading comments. If you got a good mom and dad, you know what? Bring them some bagels in the morning. Bring them some fresh coffee. Bring them flowers. That means a lot to a mom. And if you've got a good parents that were good to you, if it's been a while since you took them out to lunch, or take them out. Just take some time. Make the time. It means a lot. Okay? Oh, it froze again. I'm sorry. Am I back okay? I'm gonna start reading cards, okay? All right. I got YouTube and Facebook here going on. All righty. Karen, how's the lighting for YouTube? Is it okay? Trying to be back. Okay. Aw, I love that, Erin. Okay. Well, just like I just talked about with magic, you give something back, but you always give back. We always give back. And if your parents raised you well, and there's a debt there. There is a debt. And those are the parents that we hope are never stuck in a nursing home. Those are the parents it's a delight to open your house to. And you want them in your lives. But if you have those kind of parents, just make sure they know they're always going to be secure. Make sure they know they don't have to ever worry about that. So I'm starting with Aries, as I do. It is a 6-card spread for people who are new. These are short-term readings. They're not meant to go out for years. This is what's going on right now. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? 1, then 2, then 3. It's a triangle. I'm just looking here. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Myself as well. Thank you. So the first card, the top card, is basically the topic, what's going on. The next 2 cards, what's directly in front of you, and the last 3 cards are what's coming up, like how does it play out. All right. So Aries, we have the Empress. Great card for Aries. We have the Queen of Cups reversed. We have the 2 of Coins reversed. We have the last 3 cards, the Knight of Swords, the King of Coins, and the Devil reversed. Saying this to you, for those of you who have tarot cards at home, throw your own cards. Throw your cards, see how you translate the reading, okay? So we start here with the Empress, and that's a great card. That's female autonomy. That's, it can be the matriarch, it can be the mother. And we have the Queen of Cups reversed. Could be someone, a woman who's in charge of the home, but feeling depressed, feeling sad. 2 of Coins. Knight of Swords, King of Coins. This is Aries going hard at it for work. You know, really hard at it. Two of Coins is a good card. It's the end of juggling money. Knight of Swords is going at it, just strong communication. King of Coins, money coming in, working in a field that can generate funds, but and the Devil reversed is leaving toxic behavior, leaving toxic environment, toxic people behind, ending that. So how I read this for Aries is this idea of, Aries is that sign that they hide their sadness, their broken heart, and you never know it. They're like Scorpio that way. You're never gonna know how badly they've been hurt by people. They're never gonna tell you. They may break a chair over your head because you just push them, but leading up to that point, it's tough. So you see Aries trying to take control. Aries is the matriarch. Aries is the empress. But it's coming at a cost. But it's all geared to leaving toxic people, toxic environment, toxic behind. It's just full speed ahead. It's Aries going full speed ahead, and limping along at times. Struggling, sad, depression. All of that is probably going on too. But presenting that strong front, especially if there's young children, and just saying, I got to do what I got to do to get through this. That's Aries, okay? And that's what I'm looking at here. Just full speed ahead, Aries. And the energy and the communication, everything is geared to that. I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not tolerating this anymore. Okay? Because it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to do it, to be making those steps. All right, Taurus. We have the Magician reversed. We have the Sun and the Page of Cups, the Five of Coins, the King of Swords, and the World. Okay. The Magician reversed is usually someone who's either not working in their field of expertise, not doing what they're best at, just kind of out of their element, really. Misdirected energy to some extent, but it's not, intentional or self-harmful. It's just, this is not what you're meant to do. The Sun is a wonderful card. The Sun and the Star are the two best cards in the deck, the Sun and the Star. And the Sun is shining on this with the Page of Cups. Now, I always say the signs that are conjunct next to each other, that means that's conjunct. Often there's elements of the same reading that goes through. So here with Taurus, again, we're seeing this idea of Five of Coins, which can be a tough card financially. It could be bankruptcy. It speaks to that. But yet I'm looking at the King of Swords and the World. It really, for Taurus, with Aries, it's I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of this toxic situation. For Taurus, it's I'm going to make the money. I'm pulling myself out of a financial problem, a financial hole, with the help. It looks like the King of Swords again in the World. Energetically, it's taking action and changing. In this case, it's really changing your environment altogether. The World is a complete change, a whole new life. If it's not working where you're living, and a lot of people, it's not just they're doing the wrong thing, you're doing it in the wrong place. Sometimes you're great at what you do, but the jobs aren't there. If you're IT and you're writing code and you're doing this, well, the jobs are in Texas and they're in Austin and they're in California, and I guess they're going to Texas. But anyway, I digress. If you want to make the money, you need to go where the jobs are. If you want to be an oceanographer, you probably need to get out of Montana. It's like that just makes sense. And in this case, I'm going to say what you're doing, you're not doing your best at, Taurus, but I'm seeing you making that move, making that change, like looking at, well, where can I be successful? Where can, sometimes, you know what, you got to start over someplace else. So, yeah. And I'm also going to say this is probably a child involved here, the Page of Cups. It's usually I think of a young girl, but that doesn't have to be. It's usually a gentle child, a sweet child. Um, and this desire to make a better life, you know, it's really bringing in that very sweet, that's very sweet energy for Taurus. Um, but yeah, determined to make a better place. And Taurus do what they need to do. I always say my stepmother was a Taurus, and I watched her cry sometimes trying to pay the bills. And in Oklahoma, it was hard and it was poor, but she worked. My father worked, and all the kids worked. Everyone worked, and you make your family stronger that way. Sometimes, you do everything so your kids never have to struggle. It's like, well, maybe they should struggle a little bit. Maybe they should know how much work goes into getting that iPhone, or how many hours you got to put in of overtime to make something happen. And then just these are your kids' favorites, right? They never need to struggle. That may not be. I'm not telling you we had a parent, but that may not be the best idea. And in this case, Taurus is just, again, do what they need to do with an eye to maybe I would be better doing this someplace else. Gemini. We have the Ace of Coins reversed. We have the Ten of Cups reversed. We have the King of Cups reversed. We have the Three of Swords, the Seven of Coins, and the Three of Coins. Man, this is a theme. So the Ace of Coins reversed is money not coming in. Ten of Cups reversed, King of Cups reversed. You might have a husband or a man or a father that's depressed. Sometimes the King of Cups is an alcoholic, but a man who's depressed. The Ten of Cups reversed is unhappiness in the home. The Ten of Coins, the Ten of Pentacles, is financial health of the home. The Ten of Cups is the emotional health of the home. It's reversed, so emotionally, there's something missing in the home. The Three of Swords is heartbreak. This is a bad situation, Gemini. This is someone who's really either feeling like they can't contribute, or that they're not able to contribute, but the Seven of Coins and the Three of Coins, it ends on a happy note, because the Seven of Coins is knowing what you need to do to make money. Okay, what you need to do, and the Three of Coins is showing success at that. So if it's like, oh my God, my husband's been at work for so long and we're struggling and so unhappy, but I'm going to say, but they're here, we're finding a job, we're finding a new revenue source here. And again, it could just be that the man's unhappy because the woman's not working, and it could just be a situation where you're watching someone. Again, this may not be directed to you. It could be directed to your brother or to your sister-in-law, or someone you're very close to who's dealing with this issue. You say, well, that's not me. I'm not, but maybe someone you care about is. Even when I do readings, very often I'll throw cards and I'll be talking, and they're like, well, that's not me, but my daughter's going through that exact thing. I said, well, what were you thinking about when you sat down? My daughter. Like, okay, well, there you go. Be validated. And they said, yeah, but it wasn't about me. I said, it's about your daughter. Wow. Okay, Juliana. Okay. Kids are more resilient than you think, though. I will say that. But I'm not ever going to tell you how to parent. Just I will tell you that I moved my kids a lot. After my second divorce, I moved 4 times in 3 years. And then I moved the shop 4 times in 3 years. I did keep them in the same schools, but I didn't when they were little. My kids bounced around a lot too. It made them strong. It made them resilient. It made them know that they could go into a new situation, and handle it. It made them tough. And they are very adaptable kids. So just think about that a little bit. As long as they are fed and they are warm and they are safe in their home and they know where their mother is, that's a big deal. They need to know where their mother is. If you're at work, that they can reach you. If you're when you're going to be home, you got to be home when you say you're going to be home. It's the kids whose mothers lose their minds there after the divorce, and they're going out. And I know you want to have fun. I get that, but unfortunately, your kids pay the price for that, and that's a tough one. You might want to have to hold on to that too. They're just a little bit older. They can understand why you're not around till 1, 2, 3 in the morning. That's scary for a kid. especially a kid who's just watched a difficult divorce. It's just a lot of change, and then there's instability. And again, not judging. I don't know who I'm talking to. That message is meant for anybody, and I'm not. Just that when people worry about, well, if I get divorced, is it going to kill my kids or change my kids? Or no, my kids got through everything without nightmares. Their grades stayed high. But they knew I was always going to be there, and I worked nights and I did what I had to do. But I, just talk to them, make sure they know that certain things aren't going to change, and the things that do change, you're going to work with them. You're going to be right there with them. They're going to go to a new school. Okay, I can go to school, but here's how it's going to get handled. As long as they know you're in your corner, as long as they know, and they can get through it. All right, Cancer. I'm done with this topic. 8 of Cups reversed. The 10 of Swords reversed. The Fool reversed. Then we have the Emperor, the 6 of Wands, and the 4 of Cups. Ugh, Cancer, we're on a theme. We really are rolling on a theme. It's about career and money and life. And the 8 of Cups reversed can be homesickness, can be the desire to go home, leave home. And the 10 of Swords reversed is things getting better. The Fool reversed, you're not going anywhere. But things are getting better. You may be homesick, you may be sad, but you know what? It's getting better. Cancer. The Emperor, the 6 of Wands, the 4 of Cups. And the Emperor is well, the patriarch. It can be the patriarch. It's often really business. It's the card that speaks to industry and business. And we see this, and the reason why in this case I'm going to say it's that, because the 6 of Wands, which is a success, which is the card of promotion, of advancement. And the 4 of Cups, I want to say, Cancer, you may not like where you're going, and yet you're going. This is one of those fake it till you make it kind of thing, where it's like, I don't really want to be doing this, but they're offering me a promotion. I have to take it, And yeah, you do. I think you want to be someplace else. I think you're feeling stuck. I think there's someplace else you want to be. But for the time being, someone's handing you a boon, a favor, you'll take that while you're trying to figure the rest of it out. And that's, you always make more money while you're trying to ponder where you really want to be. It's interesting because if you think of my son, my younger son, who's been excited, he's a senior in high school, but he's been accepted to a college, and he's not sure. He's not sure he wants to go there. He's not positive, but they're making him a really nice offer, and he can play baseball, and he's captain of the team this year at high school, and so while he's trying to figure out, he's like, I can't let this opportunity pass me by because I don't know what I want to do, or I'm not positive. Of course, he's gonna, visit the college and probably sign. So that reminds me that's the energy here. It's like I'm not sure what I want. I'm not sure how I'm gonna get through. I'm not sure it's what I want to go or how. But let me take this opportunity to advance my life. Okay. Until I do know what I want, until I can figure it out. So, Leo, stuck with jobs. Sometimes you just stick with them. Sometimes you gotta put your time in. You gotta pay your dues. You gotta have experience. You gotta stick with something a year and a half, 2 years, and then you can move on and do something different. And people don't want. It's this whole idea of instant gratification. It's amazing to me. My daughter Devin, who worked for Indeed, she said to me, I know I'm not long out of college, Mom, but I don't know what to do with these kids. They're coming out of college, and she herself was like 24. Don't get me wrong. She started college at 17, but she's like, Mom, I mean, they're coming in here with all these demands and what their salary expectations are and their vacation time and blah, 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 and bonuses. And I'm like, you haven't actually held a job yet, right? You have like no experience whatsoever. And they're like, so? And it's like, well, that's part of the package, what you're giving, so different world, man. Different world. So anyway, Leo, the Ace of Cups, the Temperance, Six of Cups reversed, Eight of Wands, King of Wands reversed, Queen of Swords reversed. Ugh. Queen of Swords reversed showed up a lot this week in terms of toxic mother, in terms of toxic female. Had one where a woman was targeting a husband and really not a fatal attraction at some point. Just go away, leave him alone. Married. It was not stopping. So it was a week, let me tell you. It wasn't a really crazy busy week, but the meetings were not easy. Yeah, Tiffany, I know. So, okay, how do I read these cards for Leo? Well, I love the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is love and self-love and nice. And Temperance is bringing in the balance. Six of Cups reversed. Again, stay or go? I don't know. Not sure. Seems like it's a little bit of like Cancer, not sure where you want to go, where you want to be, but you're enjoying where you are. So that's where the difference is for Cancer versus Leo. Cancer's like, I'm not sure I'm having fun here. I'm not sure I'm going to like it. I'm just taking this as an opportunity. I'd be stupid to pass it up. And in this case, Leo's like, I'm having a fucking blast. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of this while I'm trying to figure it out. The Eight of Wands, focus on career. The Eight of Wands, the King of Wands reversed, and the Queen of Swords reversed. Don't love that. This really is, well, if you want to piss people off when they're being really shitty, be happy. They hate that. When you show up with a big smile on your face at a job that everyone else is like grumping about, and you're like, yeah, I don't know, I'm grateful I have a job. I have my health. I love my family. I'm in a great relationship. So if the job isn't that great, oh well, at least I can pay my bills, right? Better than not. I don't see a lot of it. What you want to be doing, where the advancement is, it's not in front of you right now. And I gotta say, there's like this bitch cock blocking you. This Queen of Swords reversed is a vindictive, miserable female, probably at work. Someone who's making it hard to move forward. Probably a gatekeeper of some sort. But you're right, Randy. But this idea of a focus on the career, focus, have fun, enjoy your life. And I tell people this all the time. You can be miserable at work, but you come home to a loving family and you love the home you're coming home to. You don't take these people. I tell all the time, I'm like, I know they're making you miserable. I know you're unhappy, but you don't have to feed them. You don't have to bring them home with you. You don't have to fuck them. You don't. I'm seriously. They're just your coworkers. Be pleasant, be nice, put a smile on your face, and say goodbye at the end of the day, and then wipe that shit off of you and go home. Brush it off. Literally brush it off. Get some feathers. We use wings to brush yourself off. Get some sage water. Sage the car. Sage yourself. All right? And go home with a fresh attitude because you left those miserable people behind. You leave those people behind you. I have someone I'm very fond of, and her boss is a horrible human being, a horrible person. And she's just a beautiful spiritual person. She's kind. She's nice to everyone. And this person is, well, besides behaving fraudulently at work, besides being a terrible person, is a terrible person. And she's talked to us. And then one day she's like, I'm so upset. Person was having a bridal shower and she's the only one who wasn't invited. And I said, why are you upset? And she goes, well, I'm the only one who wasn't invited. I'm like, do you like this person? And she's like, no, I don't. I said, she gave you a gift. You have to spend hours in their company. I said, go get a mani-pedi. Go spend that money you would have spent on a gift doing something fun for yourself. What do you care? You don't like them, and too many of you really care that these people don't like you. Fuck them. Seriously. And that's what I'm saying here for Leo. It's like, you enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. Eat the good food. Have fun. Love your life. And to hell with anybody who doesn't like it. Don't give your power away. No shit. I'm always shocked and then this I'll say. People who talk about being warrior witches. I'm a warrior. I'm a strong woman. I'm a this. I'm a that. And then they're whining. The same, like 2 posts next, They're whining about this one was mean or that one was awful. This one's, I don't even give a shit. I told my son just the other day, others people's opinion of you are none of your business. Screw them. That's not your problem. Don't even involve yourself. Don't even give it the energy of a thought. Whereas China says, don't let them take up real estate in your head. And Leo, you're not. You're not. Love you for that. Leo is that sign, though. It's a fire sign. And they are the sign that shows up dressed to the nines. The makeup is on. The hair is blown out. The nails are done. Most Leo women do have nails. I have to say, I don't know how you guys do it with those long nails, but Leo women like their claws, you know? And they show up turned out. And hi Gina, hi. And it's talk about one of my favorite witches right there, my friend and mentor. Love you. Miss you terribly. Hey, Leslie. So anyways, that Leo energy is amazing, okay? And I gotta respect it. They like Aries, you know, the fire signs are good at not showing that pain. I gotta give that to the fire. Sag really doesn't give a shit. I gotta tell you, Sag doesn't give a shit. Leo and Aries may care, and they're just not gonna show it. But man, anyway, Sagittarius is team don't give a fuck. That's Sag. That's Sag energy. You might get them down for a minute or a second, but they're back up and rolling, you know? Yeah. Virgo. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Seven of Cups reversed. We have the Six of Coins, the Knight of Coins reversed, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Cups. So it starts off with the Three of Wands, which is a great card. It's a card of study. It's a card of learning. It's a card of teaching. It's a great card. Three of Wands. In most decks, it's somebody with a book, the student or the teacher. Frankly, it's a card of learning. The Seven of Cups reversed and the Six of Coins. Seven of Cups reversed. One of those cards better reversed. So Seven of Cups upright is I don't know what I want. Seven of Cups is I know exactly what I want. I know what I want. Emotionally, I know what I'm looking for. And the Six of Coins is a bonus card. It's an interesting card because it can mean a baby. Actually, that's the weird thing about the Six of Coins is there's usually a baby on the card. This is a Japanese woodcut, and you see a baby, but it speaks to bonus, unexpected bonus, pleasant. And usually it's financial, abundance, but abundance and fertility are very closely aligned. So, but money coming in unexpected and wonderful ways. They're in front of you. Then we see the next three cards. And that is the Knight of Coins reversed, the Hierophant, and the Knight of Cups reversed. So, love the Hierophant. That's working in a field. That's conventional behavior. That's things going on the way they're supposed to be. And that's how Virgo likes it. They like things going the way they're supposed to be going. Capricorn too. You know, you eat dinner, then you get dessert. You study hard, and then you get your recess. Then you get, but that's how Virgo likes it. Play by the rules. And I want to say that additional money, besides bonus money, but where the advancement comes in, the advancement, that's a tricky thing. And there seems to be some sort of echelon of power, some sort of it doesn't seem it's like it's conventional. You know, here's how you get promoted, but it's not as easy as that. And I also am not sure that what it would take to get promoted is what you want to do. You know what you want, and I don't know if you want the next level. Like where you're at right now is fine, but I'm not sure that next step up. I hear it all the time. You know, they like being, assistant manager, or they like being, director, but they don't want to be executive director. Or they like being director of a department, but they don't want the whole. Because it's not enough money to make it for that level of responsibility. So they're happy where they are, and that's what I'm seeing here. emotionally. I don't know that you want to devote the time and energy. I think you want more free time, and it's not worth the money to give that up. So it's hard work. It's doing your job. It's doing everything right. But I don't know that you want to move forward in that way. I think you're going to enjoy collecting some sort of bonus, some sort of money's coming in, I think you're happy with it. But I think that to move up, I don't know. I think you're happy with where you are. And a lot of Virgos I know really got good news over these past 2 weeks. A lot of Virgos I have watched struggle for years. Some very dear friends. I mean, I know a lot of you. I know a lot of Virgos, and things are really coming your way. Man, I mean, just great stuff, and I'm so happy for you because you deserve it. Virgo works there. The ants, like Grasshopper and the ant story. The grasshoppers all having a party, and the ants are work, and then winter comes. Winter is coming. Only the ants have all their food. They're warm. They're snug. They're all set. That's Virgo, baby. That's Virgo, and winter's coming, and Virgo's got it all lined up. I love it. Makes me real happy. I have to tell you, I love a self-made person. I was talking with Andrea in my last video with Andrea, and I was talking about Jeffree Star. I don't know if you know who Jeffree Star is, but he's a big YouTube personality, and I don't know, he just fascinates me. He's also on Facebook. He does these amazing videos, and he talks about his beginnings, and he's very androgynous, gay, androgynous. But I was just earlier today before I spoke in the shop. I just was curious to know more about him. He just bought a yak farm, like a 500-acre yak farm in Wyoming. But here's the energy. And by the way, he's a Scorpio, so this is really cool. He comes from nothing, and he talks about his beginnings. He was a musician, and where he's worth and what he's worth now. But he makes his own products. When he moved to Wyoming from LA, the first thing he did was there was a charity toy drive. He wrote them a huge check, like a $25,000 check here for the toy drive. He's got the yak farm, but he's also going to be putting in a manufacturing plant because he makes all his own product. It's all made in America. It's all on he does all of it, and he'll be giving jobs there in Wyoming. He's breeding yaks. He's got his Pomeranians. If you don't know Jeffree Star, and it's maybe an acquired taste. I just like him because I love stories where people come from nothing and they're unique. He's got his own look, his own style, but man, he's right out there with his stuff. And yet I think he's worth $500 million, some crazy amount of money. But how he got there and what he did and coming from nothing, I love that. I love those stories so much. Really, can't tell you. Anyone can inherit money, right? Oh, yay! Looking at this, you do. Okay, Stacy, you love him too. I love him. In fact, I was so excited. I actually, for the first time, commented on his yak farm because I'm on his Facebook page for the yaks because I really love the yaks. And I'm like, I'm living for these posts because he talks about the yaks have all names and he shows them and he's talking about the yaks and yeah, it's Jeffree Star and Yak Farm, Facebook, and I'm like, I'm living, and he liked it. I was like, oh, he knows I exist. I think he's great. I don't know, just that energy. I love people who are raw. Put it out there. Be yourself. Be authentic. Talk about the newsletter, right? Authenticity. Be who you really are. And he talks even about a very public breakup. And very, very public about stuff. And it was a very sad thing, but he talked honestly about the fact that for the first time in his life, he was with somebody who didn't hide him away. He goes, I've always been the dirty little secret, where his boyfriend brought him home to meet the parents, and what that felt like, and they were together for like 2 years. It wasn't a terribly mean or spirited breakup. It just was a parting of the ways, but he talked honestly about what it was like growing up gay in a very, very rigid, and being that little boy that wore makeup, and it hurts your heart, to hear those stories, and then you say, oh, but look what you've done with that. You took all that pain, all that struggle. It is a unique look. It's unique to him. He's not, and he owns it. And I love the fact that he's made such a success, and then giving back. He's made jobs happen. I just love him. Love that. So let's go on to Libra. We have the Nine of Swords reversed. We have the Ten of Wands. Hey, we have the Three of Cups reversed. Five of Swords. Two of Cups reversed and Strength reversed. Wow, Libra. Okay, let's go on with you. Let's break it down. So we start off with the Nine of Swords reversed, which is usually a card that speaks to the end of anxiety. Okay? No, it hasn't. These cards are not great, Heidi, for Libra. I'm not going to lie. So usually the Nine of Swords is the end of anxiety. Okay? But we're seeing a lot of pressure. The Ten of Wands is the weight of the world on Libra right now. And the Three of Cups is just, there's nothing to celebrate. There's nothing really happy going on. It's the weight of the world, or do what you got to do to make ends. And the bigger issue, Libra, and I did see this in some readings, Five of Swords is gossip and the need to, or toxicity, usually in the workplace, honestly. But the Five of Swords is you really should get some help with that, whether it's therapy or obviously if it's at the workplace, going to HR, seeing an attorney. But this is you can't handle this on your own. You should get. It's when it's reversed, you've gotten the help. But it's saying you can't do this alone. You need to bring in some reinforcements, Libra. Two of Cups is reversed. Are two people who want different things, and then the Strength card reversed is just that. It's just not. This could be the end of a friendship. It doesn't have a broken heart feeling to it. More like the end of a friendship. Maybe somebody you trusted. Seeing a lot of that. Yeah, and that's the Wheel of Fortune reversed. I don't know that somebody owes you money. This could be a stalking situation. This looks like it could be something where someone is really hitting below the belt. I'm going to throw one more card. Eight of Swords reversed. Okay, well, the Eight of Swords reversed is kind of kinship with that opening card, that Nine of Swords reversed. Eight of Swords reversed. It's the end of anxiety. It's the end of mourning. So it begins and ends, but you need to bring in some help here. Somebody is really enjoying your pain, Libra, and either working against you or working against you. Somebody you probably thought was a friend, probably somebody, that Two of Cups that reversed is somebody you probably thought was a friend, probably thought was in your corner, and you're finding out that they're doing some really awful things behind your back. By the way, also a theme in readings. People wondering why they were doing fine at work, and all of a sudden everyone's looking at them funny. You know, it's like, what the heck? Well, again, it's just, you know, why? What is someone saying about you? What is someone doing? It's not that obvious, you know, cock blocking thing that we talked about earlier, but it is somebody who's either angry or bitter or not your friend, someone you thought you could trust, probably sharing personal information about you. God, I had one where I trusted somebody and they really shared some information. It was very damaging, and they didn't need to do that. It was really mean. So I'm just looking at the question. So the question Aaron's asking is, can your spirit guide also be the goddess you pray to? Can there be more than one? Hey, Deb. Usually your spirit guide and the deity are very different. No, they're not the same thing. Just like people think, well, my grandmother's dead, she's my guardian angel. No, she's not. She's your ancestor guide, but she's not your guardian angel. Guardian angels are not human. Angels are not human. They're a different entity altogether. Your spirit guide is more like your job coach. Your spirit guide is more like your job coach. That's a good word for it. Your coach in general. You can do this. You got this. Hey, you know, when you're training, you know, you're leaning too far back on one leg. You know, get your swing up. You know, that just Yeah, just like that. I'm so sorry. Heidi, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Wow. So Heidi is talking about, she was a Libra, a friend that she trusted. Yeah, we've been talking. I'm so sorry. Hey, listen, Randy, I've said this 100 times. The only people who have ever stabbed me in the chest, gotten me good, are people that I let get close enough and gave them the knife. Okay? That's the only people that have ever done it to me. You know, the people that guy let get that close. The only thing about doing that with me, and I tell it, it's like, here's the deal now, honey. When someone stabs you in the chest, or someone stabs you in the back, once you get it out, you're holding the knife. Think about it. Power's been shifted. That's all they can do. That's the worst they're going to do. Okay? Yep. So Scorpio, what's going on with you? Okay, Scorpio. So we start off with the Page of Swords, the Moon, the Nine of Wands reversed, Death, the Nine of Coins reversed, and the Seven of Wands reversed. Ish. All right. Well, I mean, the first card up, the Page of Swords, is a great card because it's fresh energy, it's new energy, it's renewed energy, new information. Okay, and new information keeps coming in. The Moon, there's more to be revealed. Okay, now this is where Scorpio was one of the most patient signs, I have to say, wins, because what comes up next, while there's still more information to come, we're looking at the Nine of Wands reversed, the Death card, the Nine of Coins reversed, the Seven of Wands reversed. I want to say that Scorpio again is standing in a good position, fresh energy, but watching shit crumble all around them. The Death card, the Nine of Coins reversed, Seven of Wands reversed. And I don't know, and something that Scorpio's not much for taking is this idea of, we talked about Cancer or about Virgo, do I want that next step? And in this case, Scorpio is like, I'm not taking any next steps, I want money, got more money and more training. I'm thinking of people in the medical field that I personally know, people in the hospitals, people are leaving. People are leaving in droves, whether they don't want the vaccine or for whatever reason, and the jobs are empty. And it's like, okay, well, we got to pick up the slack. Scorpio's like, you got to pay me for that, and there's more coming. This is about endings. This is about money not coming through. This is about training isn't available. And we're seeing that. They're just thrusting people who really aren't trained for the job into positions because they need bodies. And we're seeing that everywhere, not just in medicine. We're seeing that everywhere because people aren't coming back to work the way they thought they would. And it's like, and there's more to come. The Moon is there's still some secrets. There's still some stuff left to happen. Nine of Wands, Scorpio is like, I'm going to sit right here, do my job, and wait to see how this is going to play out. Because if it's not working for my benefit, I'm not working it, And if you're not going to train me to do the job, I'm not going to do a job that I'm not trained for, and then someone gets hurt and I get blamed. So this is Scorpio playing a really smart, I always say Scorpio plays a long game, and Scorpio is, but you show me the money before you tell me what I'll be doing. And they're just, this is my job, and when I'm out, I'm out. I'm clocking out on time, doing my job. I posted that post earlier today, like there's no signing bonuses for the people who worked their job through the pandemic. Now there was no retention bonus. There's no you stayed and kept working bonus. Now, April, this is like right in front of you now. So it's Scorpio not doing anything. Hey, Sha. Again, Scorpio is not being harmed. It's just we need you to do more. And Scorpio's like, well, before I do more, I need to know what I'm getting paid for and am I trained for it? That's what I'm seeing, okay? Well, it's nothing, Scorpio's not doing anything wrong. It's just this is the energy around, okay? Sagittarius. All right, Sag. So we have the Four of Coins reversed. We have the Seven of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Two of Wands. We have the Chariot. And we have the Five of Wands. Right. All right. Well, Sag is not one to back down from a fight. So let's see. I'm looking at Heidi, who's commenting on what they're seeing in the workplace there. And yeah, new workers, but they're coming in, they're not competent. No. And the thing is that, not going to clean up after someone else's dirty work. It just makes me think of way back when I worked for the state, and someone, I was just busy. I was the office manager, and my boss was like, "Well, bring in some temps, have them do the filing, have them do some of these things. You should be," and I did. Call in the temp, okay, no problem. And then when they completely screwed the files up because they couldn't, apparently the alphabet was beyond them, and guess who's looking for a file, can't find a file, and guess who? He just made more work for me. So it's just sometimes, Scorpio knows what they're doing. All right, but we're not talking about Scorpio, we're talking about Sagittarius right now, okay? Four of Coins reversed. All right, you know what you want to do. You know how you want to make money. You know how you want to make it. Seven of Swords, Ace of Swords. Two of Wands. Sure. I want to say it's a little bit like Leo. In that there's competition and there's conflict, but again, I'm looking at Sagittarius, Two of Wands, making friends. The Chariot just rolling over that shit, Yeah, is there gossip? Is there problems? Yeah, Seven of Swords. That is the card of gossip, really, and people saying you can't do something. And this is Sag saying back with the Ace of Swords, oh, fuck yeah, I can. Oh, yeah, I can. I want that. I can do it. And I'm going to do it. Watch me do it. The Two of Wands is that job that lands in your lap, that fortuitous opportunity that just lands in your lap, and you're running with it. Sag is like, don't ask me twice. I got it. Five of Wands, yeah, competition, conflict, sure. But you know what? Sag, again, team don't give a fuck. He's like, I got this. I'm doing this. And that's it. I love these cards for Sag. This is Sag energy all over the place. And it really is. There's an opportunity, and you don't got to ask Sag twice. They got it. Now, for one more card for clarity, Nine of Cups reversed. Okay, so disappointment. Sag likes when everyone gets along. Everyone, they don't like that competition, conflict thing. That's got them down. It'd be nice if everyone was on Team Sag, but they're not. And Sag can't rub people the wrong way. That's not everyone's up for their special brand of honesty. Sag's shadow is hoof and mouth disease. Sag can be counted on to often say the wrong thing at the wrong time to the wrong people, and it's like, ooh, did you just say that to me? But they're just that blunt honesty that just makes you want to strangle them. At the same time, it wasn't delivered with malice. But I'm going to say in this case, it's just where Sag doesn't do good is the energy where Scorpio thrives. Sag is not good at that, working in the shadows and waiting and strategizing and playing the long game and holding back. I was like, fuck that. Really? Here's my stance. Like, Sag, calm down. Hey, Gypsy. Just wait a minute. And they're like, nah, I ain't waiting for shit. Give it a minute, it'll change. I'm changing it right now. It's like bad timing. But with Sag, it's just they don't like that. They don't like that picky shit. That they have no time for it. Yeah, Stacy. They do. And they're fire. Sag is fire. Sag is a centaur. They're not known for being subtle. You know, centaurs are not subtle. If you watch your Harry Potter, you know that. And it's like either we get along, we're on Team Sag, and if you're not, well, oh well, sit and cry, sit and cry. Sag will not be sitting and crying, but they are disappointed, and it's not what they thought, and they really don't like that. They don't like petty behavior. That's not a Sag thing. Sag, Aquarius, and Gemini, I always call them the three amigos. Those three signs like freedom, like lack of judgment, philosophy, higher learning, travel, let's go, and other signs don't always get that. Misery loves company. I just had this reading today, and it was about work in the workplace, and people being, I said, listen, misery loves company. So you go in there with a positive attitude, you go in there and smile and say everything nice and go looking your best, do your best job and get out. Well, I said earlier in this dialogue, but that's how you win. But don't be surprised, because the minute you start succeeding, listen, people who lose a lot of weight, people who get out of a bad marriage and suddenly they lose a lot of friends. And people will tell you that, because all of a sudden you're looking better, you're taking care of yourself, you're not drinking, or you're not going out and binge eating or whatever you do. You're not from the TV anymore. You're out there working at the gym, meeting people, having fun, looking good, wearing new clothes. You left this awful marriage, and now you're happy, but you're dating and living someplace new. And all of a sudden, your old friends don't want to talk to you anymore. But it's the same thing like the energy of the store. I say that energy vibrates high, and low level energy doesn't want to come in. Same thing. You start vibrating higher, all of a sudden, people that you thought had your back they're dropping off like fleas off a dog that you just hit with flea remover or whatever. They just don't want to be in that energy. You're not losing anything. All you're losing is energy. And they're draining you. So good. But no, you're right. Or just see you doing good. Misery loves company. They don't want to see you happy. They want to see you miserable. All right. We're talking about Capricorn. Capricorn, the star reversed. All right. Judgment reversed. The Hangman reversed. The Lovers reversed. The Two of Swords. Ten of Coins. Ten of Coins. All right. This is a Capricorn story. And it was, like once upon a time, there was a little girl. She had a job that was really, really hard. People took advantage of her. And people didn't know how hard she worked. And she didn't always love her job. It was always hard. But she made a lot of money and had a really cool house, and she was happy and lived happily ever after. That's everyone was mean, and she wasn't always happy about it and didn't like it. But she made shitloads of money and was successful. And yeah. And that's how these cards read. Right now, Capricorn's probably in the middle of a project, working, feeling very put upon. No one ever appreciates what I do around here. No one gets it. Grub, money, work. But, and then at the end of the day, they go sit in their Mercedes Benz and they drive off to their lovely home, and they, maybe they get a nice, it is a Capricorn story. That is a Capricorn fairy tale right there. Capricorn is just, listen, the other thing I tell my kids, success is the best revenge. But in this case, Capricorn is like, all I do is work and no one knows. But at the end of the day, the Ten of Coins, oh, honey, there's the payoff. So it's Two of Swords, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Capricorn doesn't spend a lot of time worrying. They're not Sagittarius. They don't even hurt. Like them, don't like them, just do your fucking job. Shut up. That's Capricorn. I'm sorry. Do your fucking job and shut up. You didn't come here to play house. Get going. And some of my very dear friends are Capricorns. I love that energy. They are all business. They're also the first people when you're sick or not feeling good to come and bring food. They're the first persons that will send flowers. They're the first ones. They're very thoughtful. Capricorn are deeply loyal. They just, when they get married or once they pair up, it's like, okay, these are my roles. This is my role. This is your role. Got your role. Got my role. Okay, we're good. I'm back to work now. and that seems cold to some people. But the people I know who are married to Capricorns, well, they have another Mercedes next to their husbands. I know one who's living in a 8,000 square foot new home. So the husband works a lot of hours and isn't always affectionate and isn't always. They're managing okay. They somehow are able to, somehow get through it. They somehow manage when they're booking a really nice vacation someplace. Like, oh, yeah, okay, that's Capricorn. You could do a hell of a lot worse than be with a Capricorn. Okay? So, are we on Team Capricorn? Are people smiling? Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, Cappy takes care of business. All right? And their family is secure. Their family is fed and clothed, and their needs are met, and then some. Okay? All right. Aquarius. We have the Tower. The Six of Swords reversed. The Eight of Coins. Page of Wands. Queen of Wands. Four of Wands. Okay? Well, we start with the Tower, and that's chaos. That is chaos. And the Six of Swords reversed is cancellation of travel plans, cancellation of move. Chaos, and of course, I mean, you could even say that could be a COVID, stopping a vacation. Someone on Facebook earlier posted that it was their honeymoon, which there's no way they can take their honeymoon. It's just not happening. The borders are closed. I mean, that's the energy right there. It's just that's how it is. But the rest of the cards for Aquarius are not bad. The Eight of Coins, enjoying your work. The Page of Wands, create opportunities. The Queen of Wands, happy. The Queen of Wands is a great card for Aquarius. They like being around people. They're likable. And the Four of Wands, enjoying success. So you know what? There's some disappointment here for Aquarius. Something that they thought was going to happen isn't happening. Something came out of the blue and ruined some plans for sure. And I'm sorry. Yeah, listen. There's bad in every sign. I know that. And an addict is an addict. An alcoholic is an alcoholic. I don't care if they're an Aquarius or they're a Gemini or they're whatever. If you're going to go down that road, whatever addiction may be, you've got to negate. That's going to negate. I'm talking about the higher level of a sign. Okay. So anyways, that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like this disappointment, but then again, there's celebration and work is good. And the Four of Wands is a great card. It's good company. It's like, yeah, this would be just, life serves you lemons and you make some lemonade. I'm disappointed and I'm sad, but other things was going good. So I'll wait. I'll be okay. Aquarius is pretty adaptable. All right. So we have Pisces. All right. Last cards. Pisces, we have the High Priestess. And that is a very Pisces card. We have the Hermit, and we have Justice reversed. Page of Coins, Queen of Coins, and the Knight of Wands reversed. Well, how do I read these cards? Certainly, we have the High Priestess, and that is, she's sister to the Empress. The Empress and the High Priestess are sisters. The Empress is all about the mundane and the material. So making sure your family is fed, the abundance, your needs are met, and then some, health, and that's all Empress energy. Female autonomy. The High Priestess, her, flaky sister, is equally lovely, but she's involved with the spiritual, the metaphysical, the seer, the feelings, and is everyone comfortable? Who's not happy here? What's going on emotionally and spiritually? Are your spiritual needs being met? Empress is like, are your physical needs being met? And the High Priest is like, are your spiritual needs being met? That's what they want to know. So you see, that's a lovely card. But it's lonely at the top. The Hermit has you feeling, Pisces, feeling very alone in that endeavor. Justice reversed, something unfair. And there's just a sense of you know, it can also be a card of I didn't see that coming. Okay. It can be that card. We're a hot mess. We really are. Anyways, that can be it. It's like, you know, the psychic didn't see it coming. Well, that's kind of how this works out. That was unfair. That was a shot, and I should have known that. I'm better than that. But yeah, it goes into the page of coins, money coming in, news of money coming in, the Queen of Coins. Again, we're back into that materialistic, and the Knight of Wands reverse. And this is this is Pisces really saying is, man, this is no fun. Like there's no creative, but it is money, you know. Um, but it's like there's not a lot of creativity right now. This is about, of course, Capricorn's like, shut the fuck up and do your work. You know, what do you care if it's fun or not? You know, the money's coming in. Enjoy that. But you know, Pisces, that's not really their thing. You know, they're not allergic to money for sure, and they like nice things, but you know, there needs to be an element of fun. There needs to be an element of you know, creativity and something. And it's not right now. This is you've kind of been plopped into a situation where, wow, I mean, I have the tools I need, and I got to work, but yeah, this isn't as much fun as it used to be. That's what I'm seeing with the Pisces. I put one more card. Five of Cups reversed. Okay, so the idea of I didn't see it coming, very unfair. But the Five of Cups reversed, well, the Five of Cups upright is crying over spilt milk, but it's reversed. You cried, you're over it, and you're moving on. Okay, that's what I got. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it meant something. I hope it was some kind of message that was good for you. I am not a person who, I laugh because and I love TikTok. When I was cheating on Facebook, back when I was banned, I was like on TikTok and checking that out. But you know, the whole thing, like, if you're seeing this reading, it's meant for you. Like, or I'm scrolling by, you know. I mean, that's what the whole feed thing's all about there, psychic lady. But it's okay. Everyone's gonna start somewhere, and a lot of people are starting on social media doing their readings, and that's great. I've been doing this now for over 3 years on Friday nights, and I really do thank you all for showing up. Sometimes I'm amazed how people have shown up. So thank you. Hope that was good, everyone. It's not getting any easier out there. It's not. Be kind to each other. Please be kind. You've got the option of giving someone a hard time and giving them a pass. Give them a pass. We're all struggling. Like I used to say to my ex-husband, he gets so mad sometimes. I'm like, you know, I let that person. They even wait. I'm like, maybe their mother had just got diagnosed with cancer. Maybe, you know, they just lost their job, and they just, maybe something awful is going on, you know, and they're just trying to live their life and too tired, too sad, too broken to, you know, give you that wave or that thumbs up. Do it anyway. Do it anyways. No skin off your teeth, as my grandmother would say. All right. On that note, everyone behave. I'll talk to you next week, and love you all. Bye-bye. Hey guys.